to the Cleveland Experience, brought to you by the Property Mattress team and the Affinity Group. This week we're going to be taking a deep dive into Lakewood, Ohio. Lakewood. Let's start by talking about the school system.
Okay. Well, in addition to the schools, I'm just going to give you a little bit of history because that's my, kind of thing. So, Lakewood was established in 1889. The oldest home there of record was in 1834, but there were people there prior to that, and what I thought was kind of cool. So Lakewood, Rocky River, and West Park were a part of the Rockport Township, which was what Lakewood started as, and before it obviously became a city of its own. What was kind of cool was the Rockport Plank Company built a road that went from West 25th all the way out like 5 miles west of South Rocky River, or Rocky River Drive, and people used to travel on it. It was a toll road, so it was kind of cool. So, but Lakewood, when they settled first, because it was on the lake, Lakewood on the lake, they did. It was a lot of people who sold fruits and vegetables and did agricultural things, and so that road was a main drag for people who at that time, if they weren't driving cars, they had buggies, bikes, whatever, were able to travel and not get stuck in the mud so they could buy their produce. So
that's
like kind of cool.
The Detroit?
Yeah.
Would that be Detroit Road today?
Detroit Road today.
How cool is that?
Yeah, isn't that cool? So I thought that was pretty cool. So as far as the schools go, well, Lakewood also is right around 50,000. I think a little more than 50,000 people. That's how big the city is. So for the schools, they have 7 elementary schools.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
2, they have a really neat gifted program, just an FYI. I'm sure a lot of cities do, but theirs was pretty cool. After 2nd grade, people go, the children that are gifted go to Grant Elementary School, and they actually have a separate classroom for them. And then all the way through, in middle school and high school, there are gifted programs as well. So there's 2 middle schools, 1 high school, giant Lakewood High School.
Enormous.
Which I'm going to defer to Brian because he actually has a buddy that is a vice principal there, one of 4, he said.
Yeah, so I actually got to meet with him. Today's Wednesday, right? So Monday. Yeah. It's all right, long week already. So we actually got a tour of it, and we'll show some footage of that after this episode. But he gave me a tour.
What's up, guys? Brian from the CLE. We are here at Lakewood High School with my good friend Tony Chiravelli.
Hi, how are you?
Tony, what's your position here?
I am one of the house principals here at Lakewood High School. I'm in charge of all the freshmen.
That seems about right. Tony being in charge of the freshmen seems like an appropriate thing.
That's right. Absolutely.
Well, Tony, can you tell us a little bit, how many schools are there in Lakewood?
Right now we have 11 buildings in Lakewood. We have a high school here, pretty large, about just shy of 1,500 students. We have 2 middle schools, 7 elementaries and 1 alternative school program as well.
What's the alternative school program for?
It's for our students who fall behind, need some credit recoveries. Maybe traditional school isn't their setting. So we have an alternative school, shortened day. They focus just on core classes, but they're still able to be part of Lakewood High School sports, athletics, clubs, organizations. Just the traditional setting's not their thing.
Oh, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
How many students are in the high school?
We're just shy of 1,500.
Holy
Right, pretty big high school. Yep.
It's traditional 9th through 12th, right?
Traditional 9 through 12 high school, and we house West Shore here as well. So we have Rocky River, Bay Village, and Westlake all come here to our Lakewood Vocational, and we offer all kinds of programs.
But he gave me a tour of the high school, and it's enormous. But I saw a lot of different really cool classrooms that they have, if you will. They actually have a Cleveland Clinic office there. Somebody's not feeling well, they don't just go to like the nurse's office, they actually go to a branch of the Cleveland Clinic,
Yeah,
which
that's
I thought was really
crazy.
neat.
Yeah,
Right?
that's so cool.
He kind of liked it if a staff member is not feeling really well, go to the clinic. It's kind of neat, right?
Wow.
They also have a big culinary program there, and they had somebody compete in nationals for it last year. But they have a big culinary program there, and there is a restaurant attached to the school that is open 2 days a week for the public.
Wow.
So the kids actually, I was kind of thinking it's like Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, for high schoolers.
I don't know if there's 2 teams in there competing, and there's some guy in there smashing, food all and yelling at them all the time, but that might be kind of fun. I don't know. interesting that it's actually open 2 days a week to the public. I thought it'd be kind of neat to maybe one day make a road trip down there and go check it out.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So and we're not sure how many exactly people, I think in the video it'll show how many kids go, but it's a big high school.
Yeah, I got lost walking around it a couple times.
Do we know how old the high school is?
That is in the video as well.
Check that out.
Yeah, it's quick and short. It's really informative though.
That's cool. And they're also known, I know, for their for a theater program, which is another thing that I looked at, and maybe Alex found on his whereabouts too around the city. But the Beck Center, have you guys ever heard of the Beck Center?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay, so kind of cool too. Yeah, a little history. But the Beck Center was started in 1931 as it was called the Guild of Masks. It was actually the Junior Chamber of Commerce that went in and started it. And then it became the Lakewood Little Theater, which if you talk to people that are older that have been, and know Lakewood, they still will call it the Little Theater.
When did it
I've
change
heard
names?
it. So not until 1975, and actually a gentleman named Kenneth Beck donated $600,000, which matched a fundraising they had to expand the theater. And so in 1976, it became a 42,000 square foot, 500 person theater. And now that's why you hear it called the Beck Center, because he donated quite a bit of money to it.
Makes sense.
So, and actually it's called an Actors Equity Association, which they changed it to professional theater, meaning people do get paid to act there. They have volunteers as well. They connect with a lot of different places in, the Playhouse Square, even BW they connect with.
Really?
Yeah, for their acting. So, pretty neat place. If you haven't been there, I know they're doing the Elf right now. So, anyway, that's what I got.
Cool. Let's talk about some stuff to do in Lakewood. I mean,
Yeah.
Lakewood's huge and it's right on the lake. Hence the name Lakewood. But there's so much to do around there. And I'll start with my favorite thing, which is Lakewood Park. And it's a huge park right up on the lake, right in the north center of Lakewood. They got a playground, pavilions, swimming pool, volleyball courts. They have like an open field in the center, and the Solstice Steps. Have you guys ever been on the
Yeah.
How do I say it?
Solstice.
Solstice Steps.
I have not.
They're newer, probably in the last 5 years, 6 years, maybe somewhere in
that?
that ballpark. So they're just steps, and we'll throw up a video here, up against the lake to watch the sunset.
That's
And
cool.
it's really cool. Like it's
Beautiful. Yeah.
immaculate views. I've been there plenty of times.
That's cool. I gotta check that out.
If you ever just need some serenity or an oasis, just go
It's
there.
really good exercise too. I worked in Lakewood for a while, and we would go at lunchtime and walk the steps. It's good exercise, and they have gazebos and stuff there too. Nice.
Yep. And actually, in the summer they do free movies for the kids, like on a huge projector. I don't know if you guys have ever been there in the summer, but it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, and they have a dog park too, don't they, Alex?
Yeah. So Lakewood Dog Park, it was actually voted the best in Greater Cleveland, the best dog park.
Really?
Yeah. So lots of people with dogs in Lakewood running around, and they go to the park. It's huge. It's massive.
Mhm. Yeah.
And also with there being the Rocky River leading up to Lake Erie, you could do the whole kayaking, paddleboarding. There's places where you could rent that stuff. And then also Madison Park, which is off of Madison, right in the center of Lakewood. Just another large park that has softball field, some soccer fields, basketball courts. It has a pool, a playground, just another really large park that you can go and enjoy.
Hey guys, so we're here at Madison Park. A couple of really cool things that they do here in Lakewood. In June, they have a food festival, a citywide food festival. So all the really cool restaurants that are in here in Lakewood, and there's a lot of them. They all come on out and they participate. So there's some samples. You can obviously buy larger meals. There's a lot of entertainment. There's music, live bands. They make it very family friendly as well. So in September, they also do this thing called a family festival. I saw that there is an inflatable obstacle course, which would be really cool. Obviously there's basketball courts, baseball field. Again, another really good family friendly event to come on out to out here in Lakewood. Make sure you check them both out, guys.
Enjoy.
Yeah, lots of young families, I think, start in Lakewood. It's been my experience. I've seen that. And I don't know. Do you remember the Madison Mile?
Yep.
There are a lot of bars in Lakewood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can jump into kind of the food, restaurants, everything that they have to offer. So, up and down Detroit Road, there's a ton of restaurants.
So many good ones.
Yeah, a lot of trendy places, some mom and pop, smaller places as well. Even up and down Madison, there's a bunch as well. And then you got the West End, you know, close to Rocky River. There's a bunch of smaller places over there. The Gold Coast up in the northeast part of Lakewood, along with the, you know, the tall condo buildings that are beautiful. You have Pier W and Summer House, which are both
I love Pier W.
beautiful.
It's been there for so long. It's so good.
Yeah, both
Yeah.
beautiful places on the lake.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, just with Cleveland in general aside, like, there's plenty of space to build up on the lake.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
just building out Cleveland and Lakewood and up along the coast over the next 10, 20 years, I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a huge sale that just happened in Lakewood. Someone that my old boss just sold their home for $7 million. I think it was 2 months ago on the lake in Lakewood. Beautiful home. So there's some money there. It's crazy. The market, you know, I think it goes from you can get 100,000 all the way up to 7
7
million.
million.
Yeah. All up and down Lake Road, it's just
Just
beautiful
amazing.
homes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah, and actually, that was part of my studies too. They were saying that people, when they moved to Lakewood, it was, you know, obviously for agriculture, but the Clevelanders started coming there for their vacation homes because they were on the lake, and then things started to change in Lakewood that way. So, a lot of doubles too.
Yeah,
Lot of
tons of doubles.
Lot of doubles.
You know, if you're an investor or whatever, it's a
Yeah.
great place.
Yeah.
A couple of my, back to the restaurants, a couple of my favorite places, and we can each talk about it because I know we've been there a lot. My favorite's Lakewood Truck Park, which is newer sometime in the last 5 years, but they just have 3 food trucks every weekend come by, and it's like an outdoor bar scene, super nice, and it's just a really good energy around it. Outdoor, it's a really good spot in the summer. They're open in the winter too, obviously just the indoor part, but it's just a really fun place to be in the summer. And then also for you healthy, conscious people, there's a smaller place called Nature's Oasis, and they have really good like smoothies, bowls, salads. That place is awesome, and I know not a lot of people know about it. So it's a
That
little
food
bit-
truck one, do they try to like bring 3 different ones every week or every month or every day? Or
Yeah, I don't know what the rotation is, but every time I've been in there, there's different ones. But
That's
like
really
I've
cool.
seen some there before, like, oh, this one was here before. So there's probably a rotation of I don't know how many that they just interchange.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
That sounds
that
cool.
sounds cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's food truck food, which to me always tastes better for some reason, especially if you're at a bar.
yeah.
Well, the only other thing I had, you guys, was a Century Home Recognition Project. It's since 2017. You can actually get a plaque if you have a Century home. I think it's $155, but something that the community does, because my gig is houses and schools and community. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other thing I could add is, I mean, there's so much good stuff about Lakewood. This isn't a Lakewood commercial for you guys, like, to tell people that Lakewood's awesome. But there's so much to love about Lakewood, but there's also some potential cons that could drive some people away. Like the size of the yards and how close by houses are to each other. The amount of humans per square foot, like, it gets pretty packed in Lakewood. And then also the parking, which is probably my least favorite.
It's all on the street.
It's
pretty
all
much.
side street
All-
parking.
yeah.
Sometimes it's really hard just because of how much stuff is going on in Lakewood.
Yeah.
And, so sometimes you got to walk after you park.
It's not so much built out as a lot of times it's built up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
With the doubles, it's built up, right? Or
Yeah,
with the
it's
condos
true.
that are out there, it's all built up. But I mean, it's a lot of the younger, like you said, a lot of the first-time home buyers or younger couples, they like that. I mean, that's not as important to hopefully as many of them as it is that I'm really close to these restaurants, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm really
the
close to these shops,
walkability.
right?
Yeah.
Like in the summer, they have a thing in June. It's called the Taste of Lakewood. So piggybacking off of your restaurant thing, they have a huge number of the restaurants that just go down to Madison Park, like we were talking about already. and they have a huge festival for a whole weekend called the Taste of Lakewood. So you can sample any of them that are participating. They also have a bunch of merchants that participate in that as well. And there's another one in September. It's called the Lakewood Community Festival, Madison Park again. But it's more family oriented. Like there is an inflatable, what do you call it? Yeah, but they set up a whole bunch of them, right? So it's like an obstacle course. You see, you can actually Google pictures of the thing, and I'm like, I think I'd break a neck. I think if I tried to go through that thing. There's a bunch of little kids, they just they're weaving their way around in there. So and again, there's baseball fields and everything else there too. So that's a big community event that goes on there. So again, a lot of younger families, they don't mind so much of that stuff.
Yep. Great. It's a great place overall.
Oh,
we
yeah.
all really
Love Lakewood.
like Lakewood.
Love
so.
Lakewood.
Cool. We'll end it with this. I gave you my favorite spot, the truck park. What are your guys' favorite places to eat in Lakewood?
So I love pizza. Like I could eat pizza 3 times a day, or since I changed my diet now, like 6 times a day, every day. Sweet Basil is a little mom and pop place there. It's phenomenal. So I live in Medina. I would drive to Lakewood to get Sweet Basil. It is that good. It's a destination place for me.
I'm pretty sure Angelo's is in Lakewood, which is the most amazing pizza. And I love Forage, which is on Detroit Road. Forage is an amazing place too. It used to be Pacers.
Yep. I vouch for Angelo's. I'm actually going there tomorrow.
Nice.
Delicious.
In my opinion, best pizza in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Amazing. Cool. Well, that wraps this one up, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys.